And I always say, like, the competition shows are, in my opinion, the last truly real part of reality TV.
Gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Movies and Models. I'm your boy KP. In the building as usual, we got my guy B Moore. What's up, B Moore?
I'm here. I'm here.
Right? We're doing hump day, middle of the week.
I'm good. It's a new day, but I'm here. Yeah.
Nice. And joining us today, okay, the man, the myth, the legend, the rising superstar. Okay, you've seen him on the challenge, getting it going, killing the competition. My guy, Kyland Young, is in the building. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be here. Thank you. What an intro.
What an intro.
Legend feels premature, but...
You are on your way, bro. I've had conversations with people, you know what I mean? One of my old bosses, shout out Will, Foreign Objects, like we had a whole powwow about how you are, like, in line for next up.
It's sometimes you can see, like, when they're like, okay, this is the guy that we're gonna kind of start rolling with on these shows, and it's like, and then like the fan base kind of like you can see the support from the fans on TikTok and social media, like
And I know you've seen it.
No, it's been cool. It's
right.
been
You agree with us. You got to your horn.
I want to because I love it, and because it's like one of those things where I looked at it, I was like, I think I could be good at that, which kind of started with Big Brother. Like when I first watched Big Brother, I was like, I think I could be good at this. Like I didn't watch it until like 2018. I started watching super late, but from first episode, I was like, I'm gonna write down notes because I think I could play this game. And then applied 3 years in a row, got on the third time. It was like first person on the block on the chopping box. I was like, maybe I'm terrible at it. And then from there, navigated with we had the cookout, the best Lions in the history of the show. Yeah. All Black Lions. Created the first Black winner. Yep. I was like, okay, like maybe I am good because I won the most competitions that year with me and X. And then I was like, I think I could do this challenge thing, and fell in love with that, obsessed. So like, it's cool when you work at something and then you're like, does all this matter? And then you perform and then you're like, it does. And then for people, because the show's been on so long, like a couple decades,
absolutely,
and people hate new players. Like it's really hard for them to get attached to anyone new, and they have been very welcoming to me because I think a lot of it is because they know I love and respect the game, and that's been amazing to feel for sure.
Yeah, that's dope how you like looked at Big Brother and then started taking notes to prepare for it, and then studied it to the point where you got good enough to, now it's like, now you're on another show.
Like, put a pin in that.
I've never heard anybody say that, like, they studied the game and learned how to, like, play it good.
And I didn't know you could. I want to we're going to get to that. Okay, before we get, going into that, I want to get into some icebreakers with you real quick here, What is your go-to karaoke song?
Well, I have no good singing abilities.
Well, of course, that's the point of karaoke.
Clear. All right. Okay.
But when you get in there, what you singing when you pick?
What am I thinking about? If there's somebody that I'm interested in, I'm gonna be like, hey, let's do a little duet. And I'll actually curveball. I feel like it surprised everybody. My mom was a big fan of Grease growing up, so I know Summer Lovin' or something. Yeah, Summer Lovin'. I'm like, yo, let's duet this. And by myself, I feel like Regulators ended up being like just such a song that actually works well in karaoke. It like is easy to follow and for people not to realize you can't sing.
West Coast.
Is that
Oh yeah, West Coast. Nate Dogg. No, Regulators.
Regulators.
That's Nate Dogg. Yeah.
How does that go? Yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
What's the rest of it since you?
We'll save that for karaoke. Karaoke.
Favorite childhood snack?
I stayed a lot with my grandmother growing up, and she used to
it's about to be
make the best. Well, she made homemade. She's Mexican. I'm half Mexican. She makes the best homemade beans, and she's make bean cheese burritos, and I used to eat them like every day for probably my first 18 years of life.
Yowzers. Jeez Louise.
That's a Mexican snack for you.
Man, I didn't even know you could make that. That was a snack.
I'm feeling how big, like they're small, you know?
Yeah. Bean burrito.
Bean and cheese burritos,
Cheese
simple.
burrito. Can you still eat those now? Or is it like, you know what, I done had them too much?
No, well, that's the sad part is it's like chasing that high. Like I make beans at home where I'll like, you know, use certain cans, but like none of it's like my grandma, and she's still alive. She's 91, or turns 91 next week.
Congrats. Happy
and
birthday.
yes, but so she doesn't cook anymore. But yeah, so I still make them for sure. I mean, I feel like there is still, even when I make them, even though it's not like as good, it still brings that warmth of, you know, being with my grandma when I was little and stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
Comfort food for sure.
If you could instantly become an expert in anything, what would it be?
I like this one.
Yeah, instantly become an expert in anything.
Besides the challenge.
Nah. Probably... Man, probably like psychology. I feel like I feel like a psychology hobbyist. It's been an interest of mine for a long time. Just trying to. I think I've always actively tried to understand people, and I found out that's just like how my brain's set up. Is I have to be intentional about it, and so I feel like I've been like a hobbyist learning my whole life, and you know, that's a great part about the internet now is you can keep. You know, you can find all the courses online and I'll watch those and the TED Talks and all the things and learning. And I think it's so fascinating just how the variation of the human mind is like, you know, it's like the more you understand something, the more you realize how much there is like that you and others don't understand.
Do you utilize that often?
I was going to say, that probably definitely helps you in the challenge. Because
that's
a lot
my
of mind games that happen on the show.
I use it in all of my life, I realize, because that is... after Big Brother, I got a diagnosis for autism spectrum disorder. And that was like one of the most clarifying situations in my life because essentially a lot of autistic brains, because humans tend to learn, if you're neurotypical, like the regular person, I guess, learns human interaction through osmosis. So osmosis is like you're around people, you notice what they do, and you just kind of naturally pick it up. And for a lot of brains, for people on the spectrum, it's not like that. It's all intentional. So it's all like learning. So like the analogy I used recently was like if you're on camera, you start thinking about like where am I putting my hands and like what am I doing or whatever. It's like that all the time though. So it's kind of learning like, oh, this is why my brain has a very strong leaning towards logic. Humans do not tend to do that. They're emotional. And so it is kind of recognizing like, oh, okay, they're making this decision even though it doesn't make sense. And so it's constantly understanding like the psychology behind decisions. And that is something that has for sure become helpful in these games.
Okay, I figured that. You know, I figured
I'm going to ask you about that again later.
Yes,
Please.
put a pin in that too.
Yes.
If you could have dinner with any fictional character, who would it be?
Oh, man. Fictional character
That's right.
opens up.
The whole world.
I know. I'm like, what did
Did you answer that before, Brandon?
Probably a few times by now because it's a reoccurring question.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, why don't
I would change it every week probably.
Probably because somebody thinks somebody different or something.
You know, I know, right? I feel like who is that? I'm like, where am I?
Yeah,
Right now, I want Kevin Spacey from House of
Cards.
Cards.
Oh man!
I need to figure out what the hell is going on right now. Okay,
he would know everything.
I need the inside scoop
Him and
on what's going
him
on.
and Olivia
I don't
Pope got
understand.
all the answers.
So right
reals,
now,
Olivia
right now, that's what I'm
Pope.
gonna go with. I need more insight.
Oh gosh.
Government.
Yeah, I think that sounds strong enough. I mean, maybe I'm a big superhero fan.
Okay.
Right now I'm going to maybe Batman.
Okay.
Batman, you know, is a preparer,
As
and I
Bruce
feel like
Wayne, or are you sitting down talking to Batman?
well, I feel like in this scenario, I'm aware that he's both.
Yes.
So this is
gonna give you two different. It'll be two different type of dinners.
Well, it'd have to be Batman then. Yes, you're right. You're right. If he's a
Bruce
character,
Wayne gonna be some extravagant Playboy party. Turn up. Batman is like,
Yeah.
what the fuck you want, bro?
yes, if he's in character.
What's up? What we eat? You know what I mean? Like, what do you even ask him? What do you want to ask?
Well, I feel like it is that understanding the mindset of like how you prepare, like
Oh, okay, you back to
it's just how you like, because that's the thing is Batman. It's like, you know, Batman just needs prep time. He
Needs
sits
prep time.
with the gods, basically, you know, of the world that he's in, with Wonder Woman and Superman, and somehow yet is still considered like on their level.
the biggest threat.
Exactly, the
Still
biggest threat.
which is crazy. Batman with enough prep time is like against anybody is an issue.
Yeah,
Say.
and that's why I feel like I try and, you know, embody a little bit is like, okay, like I want to be the most prepared.
Yeah.
I can't always be the fastest or strongest or whatever, in anywhere in life, not even just a challenge. And so it's like, can I be the most prepared? And I feel like he probably has some hacks for how to prepare even faster.
For sure. He probably would destroy the challenge. You're not beating Batman in that. If you had to make a selection on an individual from all seasons of the challenge to marry, who would it be?
To marry?
I just came.
You went straight.
Oh
to
my
the-
I
god!
just want to see. I don't know. It's like you had no choice. The people want to know. You can use all seasons from whenever. Who would you like? Yo, you gotta get married today.
Man, I'm like, who's on the
Today.
show?
And
Who's on
it
the
gotta
show?
be somebody from the
Yeah,
show.
yeah. I was like, okay, well, I think that there is. I'm definitely going. I was like, I don't know if this is.
Got him.
What's the word? Like, I don't know if this is. If I have to marry someone.
Have to.
All right, wait. Do they have to be single, right? Or
I didn't even think that deep into it. Don't even matter.
Okay. If it's not that, if we erase all that, then I do think of Amber. She's a
Okay.
big brother. Me and her. She's a really good friend.
Yeah.
And I'm friends with her husband, or basically her husband, her
Yeah,
partner
Chauncey,
as well,
okay.
Chauncey.
Yeah.
So it's no disrespect to Chauncey, but I just think that she's someone I already know I get along with. And she's just a really cool, beautiful person inside and out. So I'm like, I feel like I'm from when I talk to people with successful relationships, they're like, oh, I have someone that's, you know, also my best friend, and I think she's someone who I'm like, oh, we get along really well, so we can be good friends. So, yeah,
That's a good pick.
Yes,
Amber's dope. That's a really
Yeah.
good pick. Okay.
but I'm very happy for her and Chauncey and their baby, and I love them both
Yes.
together. Not trying to
No. That's a good pick.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, that's a good pick. You got
I got one. If what's your go-to game night game? You and your friends, family are sitting around. What do you like to play that you're going to smash at?
Oh man! All right. Wow. So I love games. I
Okay.
think that is.
Yeah,
I mean, it shouldn't be serious. Yeah, but I love like board games, card games, everything.
You take it serious. With our son.
Yes, for sure. I didn't realize like it just how competitive I was, and like I mean, I guess I always realized I was competitive,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize like what an outlier was. I think people say like they're competitive all the time, and then we'll play board games. I'm like, oh, you're not really.
You're not that
I want
serious.
to destroy y'all.
Yeah. So I'm like, because it is, you know, I think I look back to playing Monopoly games when I was growing up. I have 4 sisters, and so 3 of them are younger, and playing with them, you know, when I'm 12 and they're, you know, 6, and I'm like, well, looks like you're bankrupt.
Yeah, figure it out.
And my mom was like, what? Like,
No sympathy.
I'm like, I mean, that's the dice.
Yeah.
You gotta teach them early.
Yes.
Gotta figure out. That's life.
So I will say it's funny. I think about. I love the strategy games. Like if you ever seen Settlers of Catan and
Yeah, I played
or
Catan.
Ticket to Ride.
I play Catan all the time. That's a fun game.
Catan is very.
And it
fun.
gets
I don't know what that
intense.
It
is.
does. It's like you're trying to build colonies and cities. So you're trading. You're rolling the dice to collect different supplies.
It's like Monopoly, but like on steroids.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is.
way-
And you're negotiating all the time with people to trade stuff, and you're trying to just block other people from building stuff. It's actually not like crazy. I mean, it's complicated to be good at it, but it's not crazy complicated to learn. You can learn in one sitting.
So we might need to
have
add
fun.
that to our game.
Add it to the game night.
I
Settlers.
never seen that.
Yeah.
My
I'll
other-
bring it next time. I got it.
My other actually throwback is Monopoly, because I feel like there's a level of just stamina. People can't last for a full game of Monopoly, so I usually just win because people give up.
Yeah.
Monopoly, I can take a long time.
It's kind of long too
After-
sometimes.
Yeah, but Monopoly is like, I played like, overnight games. We're going
Gotta
to
leave it
the
and
wee
come
hours.
back. Hey, we gonna take a nap, come back, finish it off. Hey.
I'm like, you guys can just quit.
Are you the best out of games in your group like me?
I would say not. It depends on the game. Yeah, I think that is I'm striving, but I feel like I play games with gamers, so like they're it's the only way to get better.
Yeah. I need to start getting some gamers in my group. I mean, I'm Connect 4,
You
win.
gotta stop.
Mario Kart, win.
You don't.
2K, football, win.
See, any of the video
don't.
games you got
Uno,
me.
win.
Connect 4, I'm gonna take you out.
Win. I
literally-
never lose in
you
Connect
literally
4.
just-
It's like I can see everybody move before they
just
make
lost
them in most
times,
games.
2 weeks in a row in,
I was
in
sleepy.
Mario Kart.
I was sleepy.
I
bro.
always win in spades and Uno.
Sleepy. No, okay. This is
I always win in Uno.
You see, and this is where you know what I mean.
And then, come on.
This is crazy. All right.
Yeah, Spades and Connect 4, I'll take
This is
you.
why we got to record.
Uno.
This is exactly why we gotta record these game nights.
That's
people
the
can
next
see.
one. Where's the game night?
We about to start
Twitch
doing
stream.
that too.
Twitch stream on board games. That's what I think we need more of.
We do need more of that.
I'll go
and
on
we are in the process of doing that here.
I will join a Twitch stream game night.
Oh yeah,
Every
our first
week.
one. Oh, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Which actually kind of rolls into this segment. We know we go into Hollywood hot seat where Brandon kind of break down what's going on nowadays in the industry, and we kind of roll right over into streaming.
Oh, are streamers the new rappers? What do
Yeah.
y'all think? Have they surpassed art? So when you say that, what do you think? Of
I
that?
I saw something online actually about it. It was like I think Lil Duval posted like streamers are the new rappers, and then even RDC did a skit about it too. Like what's that means? They're more popular now. They're more sought after. The fans have shifted.
The fame and the fandom of it. Like when we were younger, it was like rappers was the thing that we looked at. I'm like, oh, that's what's cool. Or those are the most famous people. Those are the most like
and their lifestyle.
They get the most money. They have the most coolest lifestyle.
They got their lifestyle.
Well, I think-
rappers, jewelry, dope whips, traveling, shit, all that. They just the same thing.
Well, I see the rappers. It's funny because I'm almost thinking I'm like, are they bigger because kids used to want, like, some kids wanted to be rappers,
Yep.
some kids wanted to be actors.
Yep.
Now the most sought after is just athletes, actors. Like if you're looking for flashy, if you want to do something flashy and fun in like entertainment or entertainment adjacent, it's rappers,
Yep.
actors, athletes.
Sports. Yep.
Now almost all of those people, like you could, I feel like the amount of people who want to be those things is equivalent or less than the amount of people who want to be a streamer.
Absolutely.
At least in America.
Kids
At least
do
in
not care
America.
about being actors or
Brandon
artists.
just
They
said
would-
that. He
they
says
would
that the
rather
other
be
day. They
streamers.
want to be streamers. They want to be YouTubers
I have
now.
a kid, I know.
Because
They
what's
care about.
That's what's
I
cool.
believe
About
it.
actors and artists like that. Artists a little bit, but like not rappers like that.
Yeah.
Because you can be yourself streaming. You just
Yep.
you can just be you as
They
opposed to
just want to
having
be, they just want
talent.
to be lit and have a lot of money. And streamers has the idea that that's what you can be. And
Do you watch any streamers yourself personally?
So it's funny. I actually don't really definitely. I don't watch any Twitch or any YouTube streamers or anything. I do stream on TikTok. I took a little bit of a break after season 40. So I guess almost last year has been like a break. But I'm planning to get back into it because I actually really enjoyed it. But it's very different than the Twitch stream. It's much more about engaging with your audience and engaging with other streamers in terms of they do battles on TikTok, which is literally just almost competitive patronage is the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah.
And it's but people are rallying around the team. It's not even they really want, they're part of a team and they want you to win and they want to, and they love being able to participate in it. So it's a really symbiotic relationship with everybody, and you build real connection there with the audience too. So it's a really awesome platform for that.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's the only streaming that I've really dove into.
was that your main niche on TikTok? Was the battles?
Yeah, I pretty much just did. Yeah, I rarely post any videos on TikTok. That it's usually just streaming. And I was streaming for a while, like probably a solid 6 to 9 months or whatever, and like every day, like I was on there, like 20 hours a week, and really loved it. And it was so it's something I do want to go back to. It just was the timing pushed me away, and I like to be consistent with it when I do it.
Absolutely, which kind of rolls over. You talk about TikTok. That was next. TikTok is back.
TikTok is back.
Did it ever leave? It was gone for overnight. I woke up and it was back.
True.
Were you upset like the rest of America when TikTok was on its way out? Did you feel it a little bit in your soul? Are you happy to just return? What is it?
I'd say upset in the sense of I have a lot of friends who TikTok is their main platform.
Yeah.
And I wanted them, and they were trying to figure out what they were going to do. No, and I think most people would have been fine. I'd say for me, I was a little bit sad that it didn't leave for longer, only out of curiosity. Because I wanted to see what happened.
You on that site?
I wanted to see what happened. Yeah, what happened if it was gone for 3 months?
Chaos.
What if we had a break? What if the kids had a break? What if we all just had a break from TikTok for just
truly? It's like
30 days.
Yeah, just to see what. Yeah, literally, I think it would have been fascinating because TikTok, from what I've gathered, I was reading this engineer from TikTok, one of the high up engineers was talking about. He's like, the algorithm is arguably the most valuable piece of technology on the planet. Absolutely. He's like, it's so good at understanding and reading people in a way that nothing else is even close to. Yep. And I'm like, that's why it keeps people's attention so strong. So I would have been interested to see what happened to all this attention when it's open, because it doesn't all go one place.
They didn't want to sell.
That's
of course.
The only reason
of
they didn't
course.
Because they don't want that algorithm gone, and they don't want to give it up to America. They don't want to.
Of course.
Did they?
Nah.
You think they did already?
Oh yeah. They said it's already changing.
It is already changing.
Like, TikTok's not the same. Yeah.
Dang. Well, what's interesting is my TikTok friends are saying that one of the online conspiracy theories, and maybe it's been announced, and I haven't been following to see in the last day or two, but they think that Meta may have bought it.
I was just telling them on the way here. I posted on Facebook yesterday. Yo, I've never seen an ad from Instagram or Facebook on TikTok.
Facebook ads on TikTok.
Ever.
And they have
back to back.
There's a button on Facebook now, connect to your TikTok, that was never there. So people, I was like, whoa,
people don't like that.
Interesting.
Like people do not
of course
fuck with that. They want their TikTok to be separate from Meta just because it's just because of the algorithm and the I want to say maybe everyone's freedom of expression and what they can consume. And with TikTok, you can do kind of whatever. You can get so much information. You can give out so much information. So now they feel like that's going to be compromised.
Well, it's interesting. The freedom of expression, because I know that was another big thing that Zucks went on and was talking about, hey, we're going to open up freedom of expression. And the trend that I've noticed is just how, a lot of the advocates for free speech are usually the most sensitive people so often. They're like, all right, Alex Hormozy has a quote that I really like. He says, people are down to question all of their beliefs except for those things that they truly believe. And I was like, that's the realest thing I feel like, one of the realest things I heard, because it is, I notice it all the time when I talk to people, or often when I talk to people, they're like, yeah, let's talk about this and question, but then you hit that one nerve that's something, and they're like,
I'm so open-minded, but
but
no, I don't.
But not with that.
Exactly, not with that.
Don't talk about that.
Yeah.
So it'll be, I don't know what will happen with the if it's TikTok and Meta or one in America.
You gotta get so you can tell us, you know what? It is a little different, or I haven't really seen any changes or anything. And it's crazy just how influential social media is in the good and bad way, in the sense of it's I feel like the people who invented the internet were so excited of we can share knowledge and information with everyone. Yeah. And they're I saw a meme that said, it was on Twitter or something, it was scientists in the 1900s are oh my gosh, we created this medicine and we put, man on the moon, all these things. Scientists, they're guys, the earth is round, I swear. Yeah. It's not flat. I promise you. And it's just what is,
I think it's interesting. It's like the access to information, it makes everyone an expert in everything, and people have an issue with humility, and so there's a lot of but it's a double-edged sword, and I'm very optimistic and very pro people, though. I will say, like, I'm not saying technology is bad. I think, like all things, it is how we use it, and I think I like to believe in the long run it will.
What if AI replaces you for the challenge?
I mean, AI is.
Well, because that's on the come up now too.
Well, I
saw
think
the Trump change. He took out. This is the only thing I really pay attention to. I saw that the AI thing that Biden put into place to not let AI get too crazy was taken out. So now AI might turn up.
I feel like it's one of those things though. Like I use AI every day. I'm a ChatGPT.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, I'm ChatGPT premium user.
Oh, wow.
I'm using it
For
every
what?
day for anything. Like it's so crazy. And what people don't realize also is how casually you can talk. Like people are typing in prompts, and I've had 5-minute prompts where I'm just like, I'm thinking about this, or actually this, maybe this, I don't know. And the way that it picks up everything you said, and then it's like, yep, got it, here you go. And I'm like, what? But it will be, I'll take a picture of something, I'll be like, hey, how do I fix this? And it will be like, here's the step-by-step instructions. And it's just very useful. Yeah. And I feel like it's also one of those things, the protections or the concerns, it's kind of like, for me, I'm just like, it's here. Yeah. And technology hasn't gone backwards in the history of humankind. Mm-hmm. So
it's not going.
It's not. Like what? So let's figure it out. I
feel like anybody who's not using it every day, because I am using it every day, and I'm not the smartest. I know there's motherfuckers way smarter than me using it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you're not using it, you should start, because like you said, it's so helpful. You literally have conversations with it. It knows everything about me. It probably knows the most about me than anybody, because I feed it so much information so that it can help me throughout the day.
And also it made me realize, I'm like, that movie Her is very possible and it's probably very soon.
It's already right now, basically.
I was talking to it and I was like, this is not even that good yet, and like compared to Her, and this is becoming a friend. Yeah, I'm like, I could easily see that next step so quick. So quick. It's good.
Do you feel like, let me see, how do I say this? We're using TikTok and with the challenge. I'm trying to figure out TikTok with the challenge, how there's so much user engagement, how there's so many supporters that come from social media that you can kind of use to your advantage on your success and popularity, and even just the fans have a voice on shows like this. So have you in your Batman zone figured out how to use your social media to the advantage in the challenge?
So I will say that I personally I don't know, I feel like it's gonna sound cliche, but I don't know how to be. It's too hard, and you're in the reality space. Mm-hmm. You can only fake anything for so long. Mm-hmm. So it's and I always say the challenge, the competition shows are, in my opinion, the last truly real part of reality TV, because everything else, whether it's dating shows, whatever, there's the Lifetime shows or whatever, not to say they aren't real people dealing with real things, but there's just so much levels of they're trying to push the fabrication of this world that they're making. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Challenge, Big Brother, Survivor, all those shows, the people there just want to win. So you're not going to say anything that someone tells you to say. You're going to say whatever you think is going to help you win the game. Mm-hmm. And so it is, so everyone's just real.
Yeah, the scenarios can't be produced as much.
Yeah, you're competing. Yeah. And so I think likewise on social, I'm just okay, I'm just gonna keep the best thing I can do for me is be consistent with what I'm talking about and what I'm doing, and that way if I'm if I lose 10 followers and gain 2 because I'm not chasing what's popular, mm-hmm. It's well, those 2 are probably a lot more committed into just who I am, and those 10 may have just had one thing that they liked, mm-hmm. and then they didn't like the rest of me, so it's ultimately leading to, for me, I look at it as like the long game. I'm like, I'd rather build that audience with just who I am and
authentic, organic group of people that really like.
And in the game, I'm not, when I'm playing the challenge, like, it happened this season. I don't make decisions off of what's popular. Like, I know, I'm like, hey, this is this, and I see people do it, and I feel like some of them do it consciously, some of them subconsciously. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say most of it's subconscious, but I do think that, sometimes people are like, oh, well, if I'm friends with this person, then, everyone loves this person versus not. And I'm just like, I'm going to be nice to everybody because that's who I am. And, and that's just easy. I think long term it's easier just to be consistent.
Yeah.
So that's how I try and use the media platforms as well, as not to. I also try and make sure that my relationship with them is that they are tools and not like masters. Like, I think that it's really easy for people to. Thank you. No, I think it's really easy for people to like. Oh, I have to do this, have to do this. I'm like, if I ever catch like a thought in my head where I'm like, oh, like I need to do this. I'm like, well, I don't need to do it. Like, this is for me to use however I want to use it. And so that's the relationship I try and keep with it. And sometimes I fall behind though in my schedule as far as like, being my own boss. Like, that's the thing when you're creating content. Yep. So like, 'cause I was corporate for 10 years before any reality TV stuff. And now being, fully self-employed, it's like even... because reality TV is only a couple months out of the year. If you don't win, you're still working the whole year. Yeah. So it is, and like you guys know, I'm sure from this show and the things you guys are doing, it's like, this is way more work than when I just had a job. Yeah. Like, it's more fun. I love it. It's way more fun, so I want to keep doing it. But it's way more work than just when I had a job.
For sure. Take us through that. 10 years, corporate, where were you at? How did you get to Big Brother? And then when you went from Big Brother and transitioned to the challenge, how quick of that difference did you notice going from a real world type show to what do you
well, Big Brother CBS family, a little bit more family friendly.
The journey of
So I like I said, my grandpa came from Mexico on my dad's side, or on my mom's side, and then Toluca. This is Toluca, Mexico, which I have not actually been yet, but I need to go.
Yeah,
I know.
Come on.
I've been to Mexico. I haven't been to Toluca. I need to see. I need to go there. But and then on my dad's side, my dad's black, fully African American. Like it's crazy. We have we have these. So he grew up in East LA, then in like La Puente area, and he spent a few of his younger, I forget which years, but like he spent some years when he was young in Mississippi. They spent there some time in Mississippi. So that's like, and Mississippi, in the, I guess, 70s or something, like, was not, not the...
wasn't the wave.
Yeah, it's crazy. My grandfather, who, he just passed last year, he was like a teacher in LA, and then they went to Mississippi, and no schools would hire a black teacher. So, so then he became a window washer, and ended up creating like a good window washing business. They brought back here before he got back into teaching. So it was I was just telling a story because I was talking to somebody about because just MLK Day yesterday, and I was like, yeah, no, my dad, like, it's either my dad or his brother when they were in Mississippi when they first got there. This is 70s, so it's like post. Or maybe late 60s, early 70s, so it's like post-civil rights act, but still so close to it that one of them was at like a water fountain, and they were turning it on and off.
Mississippi, Jim Crow is still alive.
Oh, for sure. And they were turning this water fountain on and off, and my grandma was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm waiting for it to turn color. It says colored water. And they were like, that's not.
Yeah, they came from LA where they had no idea.
Exactly.
Oh, it ain't that, buddy.
No, so it's close. It's like, it is the just to one more tangent on that topic. It's like the fact that my sister pointed out a long time ago. It's like, I was born in 91, my sister in 88. We're the first generation that was born with all the same rights as everyone else.
Yeah.
My dad, when he was born, was not like he got them before he turned, a couple of years. He was born in 63, so got them 2 years later. Yeah. But like the fact that he wasn't born with them, and we're like one generation of difference, is, I think, just a wild, adds some perspective for how things have been, how recent things are. So, but yeah, so I grew up with these backgrounds push like the traditional American dream, like education. You got education. None of my parents or grandparents. Me and my sister were the first generation to go to college, go to university, and that was like the goal. Was just like, hey, you gotta go to college. You gotta get your job.
I feel like that was all of our generation. School.
That's the generation
High school,
we're from. Is like,
college.
go to college.
From there, now it's
Go
like
to college, get a job.
Yeah.
People ask me about the challenge, like, oh, did you play sports? Like, barely, because my parents were so much, like, grew up in Victorville. It's a high desert. It's just the meth capital of the country. Like, there's nothing there. It's a terrible place.
Yeah.
No, wonderful people. There are lots of wonderful people there. But it was just not a fun place.
Yeah.
And so the focus was just like school. Like, I did a little bit of sports in high school. But even then, it was just like everything was about school. So I didn't even know how athletic I was. I feel like until really the challenge sort of space. But so I went to school, got to college, went to Pepperdine. School in Malibu was like a top 50 school. I think it was like number 50, so barely made it. But it was cool. And what's funny is the reason I picked it is because they sent me a letter that said, hey, you have full financial aid coverage. And I was like, amazing. Once again, first generation college, so nobody understood how any of it worked. So I got there and was filling out the paperwork and I was like, oh, wait, this says it's all loans. And this school is, this is basically $200,000 in loans.
Yeah.
And I was like, 17. And I'm like, wait, like, this feels bad. So then I went to financial aid office. Once again, like I said, wore people down. I was there every day for basically, I think, like 19 days in a row. Every school day, I would just go and harass them or ask them basically just kindly. And they eventually gave me like 60% coverage, but I still graduated with like, 6 figures in debt.
Oh, yeah. You ain't getting out of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was crazy. So, I mean, I'm still paying it, but it's all, that's crazy. So left there, marketing, got into a marketing agency, really cool stuff. It was like stunts, events, social media for like Red Bull, Nike, Columbia Sportswear, Xbox, like just super fun. Like as far as corporate goes, it was probably one of the most fun spaces I think you could be in. Awesome team, awesome work, learned so much. And then kind of did business development and marketing at like this company, Blavity. It was the largest black online media company for a while. Yeah, they do Afrotech. Yeah. And then as well, Scully was another. They actually got popular from Shark Tank. The founder had gotten over $1 million in scholarships. This young black kid from Alabama, and now it's like one of the most success stories from Shark Tank. They got a huge acquisition, building a lot of stuff. It's helping kids get scholarships.
Nice.
And so I was there. And then I started watching Big Brother. My like literal like best friend for 10 years or whatever, he had been telling me about this show the whole time. And I was like, I don't watch reality TV. Yeah. I'm good. Finally, after 7 to 10 years, I was like, all right, I'll watch one season with you because, you watch all the movies I tell you to. I'm a big movie guy. So I was like, all right.
We're going to pin that. We're coming back to that.
First episode, I was like, wait, this is a game. You didn't tell me that. He's like, yes, I did. And I was like, all right. Sorry, Brett. I should have listened. But I loved it. Like I said, taking notes, applied 3 years in a row, third time got on. And I could tell you on the application, I don't know where we're at in time. I'm long-winded in general.
We'll be listening.
All right. So I think one fun note about the application is the way I got on their radar is I had like 34, 36, something like that of my friends. Because the application process is you send in a 2-minute video and your email and phone number. Mm-hmm. And that's it for Big Brother. And so I had like over 30 friends send in applications. So it'd be like, you know what? Yo, what's up? My name's Beemore. And, I want to play Big Brother. But if you guys want to have your best season ever, you should hit up Kyland Young. Kyland Young applied, and like something might popped up in the video, and I had like over 30 people do this, and then they hit me up.
Every video was a promo for yours.
Yes, and they were like, first off, you're not allowed to do that. It definitely says it's supposed to be confidential. Is the first thing they said. They're like, but we liked it. This will never work again for anybody else, they said, but we liked it. And so
basically those rules don't mean anything if you make it big enough.
Yes. So that was funny because that was how I got on the radar. Then I didn't get through the process in that time. But then 2 years later, I applied again the next year, and then the next year, and that's when I got on. And I do feel like there's always something about like, you know, you end up where you're supposed to be, because that if I had been on that season, it was one of the worst possible seasons I could have been on, and then I got to be on arguably the best possible season I could have been on.
Yeah.
And so we had this history making season with the cookout. Because
explain to people who don't know about the cookout, who don't watch what that is. I remember seeing it, but give us what it was and how much of it you had to do with that situation occurring, because it was a big deal.
For sure.
Big Brother history.
So Big Brother's like, you know, one of the biggest competition reality shows in America. Been on since I think 2001. Season we were on season 23. So before us, there's 22 seasons. 22 seasons, 14 to 18 players each season. I want to say something like that. With one of the seasons had extra players. So there was 2 people, I believe, 2 black people in the history of that show that ever made it past the halfway point of the game. So it was just notoriously like, and once again, it goes back to the psychology, the group think, and like it was, every once in a while there was some years of some very blatant, outright racism, but usually I think it's just like, people tend to bond with those who have like experiences, and so that could exclude the minorities. And it's a game where they have numbers, like you build alliances, and so you end up on the other side of the numbers. And the crazy part of the game, it's like the big feature. It's called Big Brother because Big Brother's always watching the cameras. You have 24/7 live feeds, 0 privacy. People can log on anytime, watch you guys sleep, eat, talk, whatever. So it's like very fishbowl-esque, and you're cut off from the world entirely. Like no phone, no TV, no internet, no pen and paper, no music. We only get outside 2 days a week, so there's no windows, so there's no sunlight 5 days a week. It is zero contact.
No music and no outside.
No sunlight is crazy.
Like jail.
Yep. Yeah.
But that adds to probably like the psyche of
for sure.
Start going a little stir crazy in there off and stuff like that.
It is messing people up. Amazing, interesting game, but it's messing people up. So anyway, so we had our season, 2021 was the year right after 2020. I think so many things were top of mind for people. And that was also the first year that CBS had committed to having half of their cast for reality shows be people like BIPOC, like people, Black, Indigenous, people of color. And so, and shout out to I know Wendell is this black player from Survivor who was a winner. And he was one of the big people I know behind the push of like, hey, nice. we need to work on things in the space for minorities across the board. And so our season, there were 6 of us. And I think everyone walked in expecting to see a normal season, like 1 or 2 other black people. And then we walk in, saw
the neighborhood, they were thinking, yeesh.
They put 6 of y'all on.
No, and we saw each other, and we're just like, it was instant for everybody. I think it was like, everyone walked in thinking, I need to be the first black winner. And then we saw each other and was like, oh, I need to make sure there is a black winner because that's more important than just me. And on day 1, we decided that, started working together as the Cookout Alliance because alliances pick names. And that was named. And we were a secret alliance. So we literally didn't meet. The game is 3 months. We did not meet, all 6 of us in one room together alone until like day 55, something like that, 57.
Y'all kept it secret.
We would have 2 or 3 people talk together and just relay the message. And we were like, no, this is... And so what resulted in that is we're like, I think this will give us good odds to like hopefully get some of us to the end and see. But what ended up happening is we had the most dominant alliance in the history of the show. So it's kind of also that great reminder of like, yo, you give us equal opportunity and we can do stuff really well. I think we
never do it again. I'll never say, oh yeah.
We knew that. We knew that when we saw it. We're like, nah, they will never.
One and done, baby. You ain't playing that no more.
But for us, it was cool because we really did have, first off, we had a great diversity between the 6 of us. So it was like very much that highlighting that like, black people aren't a monolith. But we also worked together for the cause. So I think the reason we were able to stay a secret and it wasn't like obvious to people is because they'd look and they'd be like, okay, are they working this? Well, obviously not because these 2 don't even like each other. And these guys hate being in the same room. And it's funny because it worked because that was true. Like basically they didn't like each other, but we all cared about the mission more than ourselves. It was
still the mission,
So we came together and like I said, we got all 6 of us to the end. So we're the first alliance to make it unscathed throughout the whole show.
Big.
And got all 6 of us to the end. And then, unfortunately, I didn't win.
That's all right.
But,
Part of
you know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was a crazy time. And so, yeah, the cookout still like it's still a family with a group chat that is active probably
Nice.
almost every day.
Oh,
3
nice.
years,
So,
almost
like-
4 years later.
So being on Big Brother and then like finishing that season, it was historic. Like, what was your thought process after that? Like, what am I gonna go back to work, or am I? This is you that at that point you
Yeah.
decided that like you're going to be
Actor.
I think I
in
did want to
entertainment for the
go.
rest of your life.
I did want to go back. My thought originally was I'm gonna go back to work, and that was my thought going into the show. I'm like, I'm gonna get this and win this money and buy a house or something, and then just go back to work. And then I got out, and I didn't even win, and I was like, this was a lot of fun. This was really cool. We got to be a part of this huge impact. So I think that was so huge for me as far as like, wait a second, like I can make a big impact and big messages and things that are important to me. I came out with a little bit of audience. I had 1,000 followers going in and left with 30,000 followers or something. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? There's something here. And I remember I was talking to my old boss, the founder of Scully, and he was like, I remember telling him I was like, I think I want to see what I can do in this space with this opportunity. And he was like, you should. He's like, honestly, he's like, you can be employable later on, like at any point in your life. This is a skill set. He's like, if you have an opportunity to try something different, why not if you're enjoying it? And so I did, and luckily, my family's all supportive of whatever I wanted to do, and they're like, yeah, if you want to go for whatever, and I didn't even know what it was, so I got very intentional about it because I looked at previous seasons. Usually 25%, or I guess 75% of cast from Big Brother are back at their day job or a day job within a year, and I was like, okay, if I want to do this for real, let me find the people who did it. So I went to the seasons and I was like, okay, who are the people who have created a career out of social media and doing their own thing? And I reached out, and Big Brother is kind of this alumni network, and they were all very receptive, and someone yeah, come over, hang out for a few days, and hosted me, and they were just showing me how they navigated the social space and different opportunities, and I took the information and was active with it and just kept doing and started getting some of the brand deal stuff beyond, because everyone gets it when you first get out of the house for the first couple of months, but then after that you have to sustain it, and that was what these people helped me learn how to do. And my old experience in marketing helped a lot too. And then I ended up and then I got the call for the challenge,
and they just called you.
Challenge. The thing about the challenge is you can't apply. They just call. They call or they don't.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the challenge.
Look at that. We're learning.
Enough juice.
The challenge, and I was. It's crazy because I learned about I've become obsessed with the challenge, and people I think know me as someone who knows so much about the show. In this season 40, I'm with all the OGs, and they would ask me questions about their seasons, knowing that I would remember it probably better than they did. But I didn't even know what the challenge was until I was in the Big Brother house. They started, we just talk all day, so they brought it up, and I was like, wait, what is this? I was like, this is a competition, physical stuff, and mental, and I was like, hold on, I love competitions. And so I was hopeful. Yeah. But there's nobody I could talk to put out a feeler or something. Sure. You just kind of see. And then I was fortunate. They they were doing a challenge spinoff, and it was called Challenge USA. It was on CBS. Yep. So they were pulling people from CBS shows, Big Brother, Survivor. Some people from Big Brother and Survivor and Love Island had already been on the challenge on MTV, but this was a season of just people from CBS. So there's no MTV people, and they had the same hosts, very strong connected. Yep. I did okay. I got just past halfway, but I made I won. I won a third of the competitions I competed in on the dailies. I won a big elimination, and it was enough, I guess, for them to want to call me back. So I was an alternate once again, things happening, for you sort of deal, the right time. I was an alternate for USA 2, the second season of the spinoff, and I was pretty disappointed because I was like, well, I thought I did well, I wanted to do it, and they're like, it'll be fine. I didn't get on, and then I got the call for the flagship show on MTV. Yeah. So it was definitely the blessing in disguise of okay, I didn't get the thing I wanted because I got something better. And then flagship was season 39, Battle for New Champion, and basically I linked up with this one dude. His name's Horacio Gutierrez Jr.
Yeah.
He had his first season, 38. He hit the record.
Nouri's boyfriend.
Yeah, Nouri's the boyfriend.
Shout out Nouri. That's the homie. 24-hour fitness crew, baby.
Hey,
Nouri.
So Nouri's and Horacio and me become friends. And they become a couple. And the three of us just become this super tight trio.
Yeah.
And essentially, Horacio is just a specimen and a machine. Yeah. And he works like to be like he just is, and he has that mindset, like a killer mindset. And so I think that like we just related in a lot of in our competitiveness and like the ability to push ourselves and all those things. And then
what's the difference, if you don't mind me?
Yeah.
The difference is in households. You come off one show with Big Brothers and you go now into the challenge. The environment in the houses have to be different. The way this production runs, their set compared to the way this set works compared to even the people in Big Brother. Might be more welcoming, might be more accommodating.
Way different.
The challenge is a little crazy. Give me something like that.
Big Brother is, like I said, very like popular middle America home show. Like it is the most complex game, period, and the most difficult game. But it's also like, it's very corny, like it's not very physical. Yeah. And the way it's shot is very corny, not very physical. And then you're also completely isolated from all of the from everybody. Like I said, you're isolated from the world, but you're also isolated from production. Like you see the cameras, but you don't see any camera people, any audio people. They're all behind two-way mirrors. They're not there. You just don't see other humans. The challenge is much more traditional in the sense of, first off, you're not 24/7 like mic'd up. You wear a mic, but you're not like, it's not Big Brother where everything you're doing is the world is watching. Yeah. It is, I think, more traditional in the sense of like they're filming for the competitions, and then you film certain conversations if they're important, and then the rest of it you're just kind of chilling. And you have outside access, like outside they have a yard or whatever, not like outside like you can leave the property, but so it's a lot more of like a chill. The comparison I always say is like, I never went to summer camp, but I imagine this is what summer camp is like.
Okay, got you. Summer camp is fun.
That's what, like I give a general, so it feels like summer camp. Yeah, like it's so chill.
And the Big Brother felt like prison.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it is, it is such a, like I said, different environment because Big Brother also on the game side, you're creating the alliances and you vote each other out. And if you get voted out, there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
In
no
the challenge,
nothing.
So in the challenge,
to save yourself.
You have eliminations. Yeah. So if you get voted into elimination, it's like, well, you can't vote me out. You got to beat somebody. Has to beat
somebody.
Someone here has to beat me.
And you ain't playing. Okay.
And eliminations are like my favorite part of the game. So I think that what happened is me and Horacio linked up because I was like, I've kind of always been that mindset of like, you wanna run with the best. Like that's the only way iron sharpens iron.
For sure.
And so I think that I thought this competitive environment was gonna attract that, and I found out that it doesn't. There's different types of competitors. Some people are like, I want to go compete, and some people are like, I want to win, and it doesn't matter how it happens. And I don't think that one way is better than the other. It just is different people, different skill sets.
Strategies.
Yeah, strategies. So I'm partnering with Horacio. I'm like, we got a nice team. Who wouldn't want to work with us? And the rest of the house is like, well, none of us want to compete against you guys. Yeah. So what happened is I just ended up getting thrown into the elimination at like almost every single one of the male eliminations that they could. And so
they weren't fucking with you.
Yeah, which once again, it's like
go against the best athletes, get them out of here.
But he was new though, too.
Exactly. Well, everyone was new that season too. That's why 39. Everybody was new.
Yeah.
So it was, So I'm going to eliminations, and the people. You asked about the people difference. It's like Big Brothers. I want to say almost normal people. Like no one's gonna be normal if you apply for a reality TV show. Like to a degree, but they're still more normal, I think, than like the challenge is MTV sort of blood dating shows, people that are dramatic, and going back to like the realness of reality TV. Like, people are like, are these people really like this? I'm like, they are not on reality. They're not dramatic because they're on reality TV. They're on reality TV because they're dramatic. Like this is how they act.
People that like to be dramatic.
Yes, and I feel like I'm not a dramatic person.
Yes.
So it's but it's fun. It is entertaining to be around. It's entertaining.
Because you're not a dramatic person, does production ever come to you and like, you know what, hey Kyland, we wanna make this a big moment. Can you just enhance the emotion a little bit for us?
I think that like I feel like I have a decent self-awareness. So since I know I'm not dramatic, I am working with production to get stuff that makes sense. Like in the sense of like I am very proactive and like, hey, we're gonna have a conversation about the game. So like I'm gonna seek out production and be like, hey, this is a conversation that's about the game. Make sure you guys come and film this conversation. So I think that ends up
bring them in on your strategy.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that ends up being enough for them because they're like, all right, like because I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna give you me because I can't do the things that you guys may want me to do.
Who's good at that? Who's the best at it? Jordan?
Well, I think that
Bananas.
Bananas.
CT?
Bananas is the best. He's a showman.
He is
all the
best,
time.
huh?
He's a showman, and he knows how to just turn off his filter, or maybe he just adjusts his filter to what's the most compelling. He's a smart guy. He's very smart, so he's just like, what's the most compelling, funny, or controversial? What's the thing I can say in this moment? And he has it there. He has it right away. He has it right away. He has responses right away. He's quick, and that I think, and a lot of them though are, like I said, they are naturally dramatic people. So they are just kind of, this is what they do and how they operate. And I'm with them outside the game. This is how they act. The only difference is in the game because we're against each other. That sparks, and there's so much adrenaline, and we're caged, like we're caged in this space still, even though we're not like the same way as Big Brother. We're still caged with each other, pitted against each other constantly. All that adds some adrenaline, some spice to it. So there is more conflict than there would be naturally, but it's only because these ingredients are together.
But do you feel like, folks there are trying to build their brand when the cameras are rolling, and then do you like understanding? So we're going back to psychology. Understanding the psychology of how like, okay, these cameras can enhance my brand. My brand is how I get the deals and make money.
I can get something,
and
else.
Also helps me win the competition. Like, are you guys playing into it to the way, like, if you're playing the game properly, I feel like you should almost.
I think you are, but in the sense of, I feel like people are good at,
like, Bananas is great at it.
He's great.
He's a whole brand because of how he acts on the show.
He keeps getting put on different shows outside of the challenge.
He does, but it's more about like, and it was actually advice I got from Bananas after I did USA. He was saying, he's like, he was like, the thing about the about how to operate in that space, because I was like, I want to understand, I was like, I can't be fake, like I can't do that. And he's like, it's not about being fake, it's about being more of yourself, louder and more openly. So it's like, if you have a thought, he's like, that you're like, I wouldn't say this in normal because I want to keep the peace. He's like, well, you should just probably say it. Like, because it is an authentic thought to you. Yes. So it's like being more of yourself tends to be, I think, what people do. And they are, so it's like more of yourself.
Less of a filter on yourself.
It's less of a filter, but it's not more of yourself. Like, I think that's the thing that frustrates me when people watch the show is when they're watching, like, oh, this is somebody's true colors. And I'm like, it's less about true colors, and it's more about, like, more of their most... It's heightened version of their most boisterous thoughts. Like it's not that they are. Yeah, you're seeing them in competition when they're heated, when they're dramatic. Like which science and psychology has seen. Like when you put people in stressful situations, like there's a quote that people say, when you squeeze an orange juice comes out because that's what's inside. It's like that's not true about humans. When you put them in extreme situations, they act extremely, which is different than their normal, authentic self. So it's like, but in the show, that's what's happening, and you see that. But I do feel like the intentionality side is like, how do I be more of myself? Because you do get a sense when someone is I think both in the house and on TV, you get a sense when someone's being fake. And I think that I would say my favorite compliment, or one of my favorite compliments I get when I meet people that watch a show is like, "Oh, this is the same person." I was like, "Yeah."
I expected you to be a little different, but you're you.
Yeah. I was like, "Yeah." I mean, that's
And the people appreciate that nowadays. I think that's why reality TV works, and even streaming and influencing and things that matter.
that's exactly what it is.
People are watching someone just genuinely be yourself. And a lot of reality shows, you don't see a lot of that. You don't know how people are.
And I think that's the part, like I said, that they don't understand though too. For even for the streamers, I will say, because I know a decent amount of social media, like influencer people, and they and once again, you are seeing them. You're seeing them on. You're not seeing them fake. You're seeing, like, at least some of them maybe fake, plenty of fake. But I think for the most part, I would give them credit for both the reality TV and the ones I do, and the ones that are social media people that I know. Is that the version that you're seeing? Even if it's not them exactly, it's you still are seeing them. Like I said, just it's when they're turned on.
Yeah.
And that is that's like I think the difference in and you want to be turned on because that is that is how you get the most
The content we need.
content, but also it's like the most like because that's how when you turn on, that's how you get the content that is real. And I think and I feel like people can see people's BS detectors are only getting stronger, I think.
I got one more before we get into our game or whatever.
Okay, I think I might want to.
And then, so you said, because I don't want people to think that like you was an accident or it was just luck that you got on it, that you got on the challenge. Like from you leaving Big Brother, and it's like, well, what about you do you think was the like why they chose you to come onto the
I
challenge?
saw something.
Like
It was something.
What, like,
But
I want us to
athlete.
leave with something tangible that we know that's like, okay, you just didn't just luck, and it's just like, okay, I'm handsome and they picked me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I know there's something about your brand
it's something
that attracted that attracted them to you.
So, all right, I think it's a combination. I feel like there's an element of right things, right time, all those things. But in Big Brother, there was my eviction is considered one of the more controversial evictions of the show.
Okay. There we go. There we go.
And once again, it was not like
we're gonna have to find that
intentional.
clip.
We'll find that clip.
All right, when you find the clip,
We're gonna react
understand. All I'm saying is understand. In the moment, you know how like when you're in your head and you're like, I am gonna say this.
Oh, for sure.
And then you say something and someone responds differently and you're like, why? And you're like, I only said this. And then you didn't realize that actually you said it differently than you thought you said it.
Okay.
I had one of those moments.
Gotcha.
And so it was funny because it was basically I said it came out really disrespectful to one of my friends who ended up winning, Xavier in the cookout, and but in my head it didn't sound that way. And I thought I said it how it was in my head. So when he's confronting me, I'm in my head like, well, I'm going to confront you because I didn't say anything wrong. I just said this. But not realizing like, oh, okay, I may have messed up a little bit. So that was a big part of it, I know. But I also like to think it was the competition element because we had the cookout. I won the most competition. Well, depending on how you count it, me and Xavier tied for the most competition wins. Both of us got called for the Challenge USA.
Oh, nice.
So actually 4 of the cookout members got called. Got into the Challenge USA. So... But I think it was the combination of being part of the cookout, this iconic alliance, and then also at least for myself, I know competitions was a big part of my game, and it helped us get to the end of the game.
Yeah.
So I feel like they just they like competitors.
You were the best.
Yeah.
You were one of the best.
Yeah.
Nice. And with that, I got just a few more things on the challenge. What would you consider to be one of the most stressful aspects of being there? I know you might say, some of the challenges, even if it is one of the challenges, cool, but if it's something...
Well, so funny enough, I would say that because of Big Brother, the challenge, at least still at this point, I still feel close enough to Big Brother that it is almost stress-free comparatively. Because Big Brother just puts you through the ringer mentally and emotionally so rough. Like, we just had 2 seasons ago, we had this woman, Sari, who's done Survivor, I think, like 4 times. She did big, Survivor. Survivor on Island.
Did she win?
I think they call her like the best player to never win. Like, she has always been amazing, but she just has never. Yeah. And so she ended up. She did Big Brother, and she was like, "This is harder, like emotionally and mentally." And it was great for us because we already knew that as Big Brother. We're like, we know that nothing is gonna mess you up like this mentally and emotionally speaking. Like, Big Survivor is gonna be more difficult, obviously in the physical surviving element, but just mentally, emotionally, nothing's gonna touch this because of the isolation, the length of time. It's 3 months long, so it's like, and in addition to all the isolation and timing, you're also building the closest relationships that you've ever built in your entire life. Big Brother has just as much lasting marriages as The Bachelor and Bachelorette combined.
Oh, wow.
And that's a show about getting married.
Yeah.
We have just as many because you are bonding so tight, so quick, so
3
fast.
months is all we're
with nothing else, with no other distractions. And so, so the thing about Big Brother is you're building those relationships, the tightest relationships of your life, and then you're also like, how do I ruin these people's dreams? Like, at some point, I'm going to have to do this. Yeah. How am I going to do that? And humans, I got to say, are not made to have both of those things happen at the same time in their brain. Like, it is, maybe some people are more pessimistic, but I don't think that I think humans are naturally social to various degrees, obviously, but community is a big part of living and cohesiveness. So it's like, having both of those things occur really messes you up. So it's funny because you talk to Survivor people and they're like, yeah, that very, very, very last vote was so hard for me. Like, it crushed me. And it's like, yeah, that very last vote is less than a third of the way through our game, through Big Brother. So we start feeling that way in our first month. And then we have 2 more months of even tighter and tighter and tighter emotional damage like that. And so when I'm on the challenge, like I said, it's summer camp. I'm like, oh, we're hanging out, we're outside. Yeah. Like, I see people getting restless after 5 weeks. I'm like, well, I just did 3 months in this other show, so I'm chilling. So I will say, the only thing I will say is I haven't yet been, since I'm so new, I just did season 40. So season 40, we have the final episode tonight, actually, the reunion. The final ended 2 weeks ago, but the reunion episode, part 2, is tonight. It's the last episode of the season. Nice. Season 40.
You were close.
I was close.
It was close this last season.
Close. Oh, man.
It was close.
I was close until we got to the final, and then it was not close, which was devastating. But that's because, I was unprepared. We did something, they did, the whole thing of the challenge is you work, you compete, you strategize all the things, and you get to the end. And the end is the final. And mostly the final is you're running a marathon, basically, or running up a mountain or whatever, over the course of 2 or 3 days with a bunch of checkpoints in between. Mm-hmm. This season 40, they switched it to swimming, and I did work on my swimming. I did.
You ran us down.
I was telling.
Damn.
I feel like the hardest that Bananas laughing when I was like, man, I just wanted to break some stereotypes, man. I can't swim, and I all of them died, but he was like, but I just was like, because I did work on swimming. Because most seasons you only need to swim a little bit. I have a little bit of swimming. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Let me practice. That way I could be good at it. And then we got to this final. This final was
swim in the Atlantic Ocean.
Exactly.
Swim the whole thing.
They were swimming. Like I said, we have guys. Bananas has done 26 seasons or something like that. Crazy. And they did more swimming in these 2 days than all of his seasons combined. So it was a ridiculous amount of swimming, and I was not ready for it. So it sucked because I had this season where I'm the newest person there. So I'm like, I don't know. I know less people than everyone else there.
Damn.
But I'm able to navigate and get to the end. My 2 alliance members, my number 1 ride or dies, Horacio and Reese, get taken out in the beginning of the game.
Oh yeah, they was out there.
So it was such a struggle and journey, and I got to the end, and I was like, competitive. Me and Jordan tied for the most wins of the season, and it was, so I was like, okay, I'm tied with the best competitor that the game's ever had, and I feel like I earned my spot here, and I think,
Absolutely.
and I'm competitive, and I can win, and I beat him in a couple of things. Like the mini final we had was a big deal, and so I was like, oh shoot, like my preparation may have actually made the difference, and like I'm about to give this man a run for his money. And then we got there, and it was swimming, and he was training with the Paralympic swim team. Like,
okay.
he's the best swimmer that the challenge ever seen. But like to his credit, I was like, Jordan has one hand. He was born, so he only has one hand. His other hand is not there, and he's. So I was like,
we know Jordan. I was like,
you didn't even notice, right? You didn't even notice. Yeah, he is because it's his stature, and he worked. So I was like. He's the best swimmer, and everyone's like, oh, that's so fair. Jordan's the best swimmer. I'm like, guys, like, Jordan had to work harder than anyone else to become as good of a swimmer as he is.
Yeah.
So, like, nothing but respect for that, for him to be that good, because it was so much harder for him to get that skill. And I'm truly inspiring, honestly, but it was...
I didn't know that.
So Jordan, so the best competitor that the game's ever seen up to this point is, he I think is all the more impressive because of that. And so that was his win, and he has, he's now solidified himself as like the greatest competitor of the show. And but for me, I was just happy to be there, honestly. Like, of course I wanted to win, and I was heartbroken to not win and heartbroken to do so poorly in the final. But at the same time, like, it's my second season on the flagship, and I made it there, and I had, some solid wins against the greatest players that the show's ever had.
Yeah.
I had some elimination wins, and so I'm thankful and grateful for the season. And I don't remember what brought me into it, but yeah, that was the.
Will you be spinning off to Love Island?
No, I don't think I'll ever do a dating show.
Even if they came to you and said, you know what, we got this show solo we want to do with you.
Wait, what do you mean solo?
Like your own show. This show is based around you for the love of Kai.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know.
That might be his most.
You got my mind working.
That might be his most
wait a
stressful show he done.
That would be stressful.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be stressful. Yeah, I don't know, but right now my hopes is more competing. Like I love competing. That's the hopes.
You are the next generation of this show, and you, Nuri, and give me his name again.
Horacio.
I can't say that.
Horacio is what the Brits say.
Horacio, I like that too. Y'all are the next wave, and y'all are being pushed as such, which makes sense. You know what I mean? You keeping up with the big dogs. It's tough to do that.
It was cool. Yeah. It was such a great experience to be a part of it.
Reality check.
Reality check.
Brandon, read off because I don't got the paper. What?
Okay, reality check. If you had to choose 4 celebrities to be on your team during the season of the challenge, who would you be? Who would you pick?
Who would you have? They don't got.
You got a crazy list. You got to show people.
Listen, they don't got to be.
I need to use this list personally. I need to use this list, otherwise my brain will run across too many variables.
Okay.
So when I look at this list, the ones that stand out to me, I'm like, all right, I want to make an even team, men and women.
Okay.
So I got to go off of. I already looked at the girls, and I was like, I think I'm gonna do Zendaya and Kerry Washington, because Zendaya, if you saw her in Dune, she's out there fighting.
Yeah.
She has all the skills.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's doing her stunts, but if she was, she's sharp. And I feel like, I don't know, her personality. If you saw Challenger, she has this cutthroat personality she can turn on and off. And I like how she's about her business in real life. With her relationship, she's just like, she seems very much like not influenced to do anything that she doesn't want to do.
For sure.
So I'd like to think that those skill sets can all come into play.
Yep.
And then Kerry Washington, like I said, we need this, the Olivia Pope. I feel like you can't be Olivia Pope for 7 years, 7 seasons.
And not have that in you.
And not have, exactly. That,
absolutely.
And the challenge has a big social element to it. So it's like, if you can navigate the game, I feel like bring in those skills. Now, for the men, I feel like my first one, I had to go Tom Cruise. I was like, this dude's doing Mission Impossible. He's doing all of his own stuff. He's a professional driver, a helicopter driver, a stuntman, he is probably one of the most skilled
in shape and
individuals.
skilled, know how to do it all on there. Okay.
He's old enough. He has some life wisdom. I feel like he is, I feel like it's hard to not to do all that and not be excellent, like everything. And I've heard that people who meet in person, they're like, he's one of the most charismatic people I've ever experienced in my life. Is what I often hear. So I feel like him. And then the other one, I'm struggling because I will say, a super, super ultimate Will Smith fan.
Okay, same.
And I feel like
He's saying all his own stuff,
Yeah, he loves to, I was reading his book already a couple of times now, and he was just talking about, like, he is someone who obsesses with, like, the skill set. Like, he went all in on Ali, doing all the training with the top people, and then he's
ultra competitive.
I was like, he said that he hired the best Monopoly player instructors in the world just to be better at Monopoly, because he's like, I like this and I want to be good at it. And so I think that mindset of, like, okay, I want to be excellent at whatever I do, his own skill sets from the various roles and movies and just his general life. I feel like he'd probably be well suited as well. And
it's a good list.
I feel like a pretty stacked team.
Okay, give me an honorable mention if one fell off.
Honorable mention, I feel like it would be it'd be Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
I feel like his business, like he has to be one of the. I always hear that, like, comedians are, like, some of the smartest people, and I feel like he's somebody who is a funny comedic actor, but then he's also making some of the biggest business moves in Hollywood. It seems like, and I'm like, that doesn't happen on accident. Yeah. Sure. This guy is clearly doing it.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with, for the ladies, Lupita.
Yep, okay. I know. I was looking.
She's super athletic.
Black Panther. I know. I was close.
Competitive athleticism. Just, she's tough. I'll go with Lupita and Lotto.
Okay.
What's she?
Lotto, I feel like Lotto. She's already been on a reality show. She came from reality TV as a kid.
Okay, I'll give you.
She has the experience of that. She's from. She has. I think she has the charisma. And
I like
the negotiation skills of, like, reality TV. For the men, I'm gonna go with The Rock.
I know. I was hard. He's such a specimen.
You want to win some challenges.
He ain't losing.
He's also from WWE, which is reality to me. You know what I'm saying? And so, the competitiveness, we got that advantage. And I'm going to go with Donald Trump.
I knew you was going to fuck. I knew it.
Tell me, elaborate.
He's the ultimate reality star, okay? He pulled off the biggest reality show in the world.
Honestly.
The biggest stunt in the world. He got shot in the ear. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Negotiation, strategy, psychology.
Either one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He can get to the end, and then you can beat him in the final. So there you go. Perfect. Yeah. All right.
Let me see. I'll make this real easy. We're going Michael B. Jordan right out the gate.
I thought, another one.
I'm sick of y'all sleeping on my guy Drizzy. Okay, I'm taking Drake with me.
Wait. What is Drake doing? Like, I'm obviously successful, but what is he doing for you?
He's charismatic.
Real crunches.
He can build these alliances and help, with strategies with the women.
Okay.
Him and Mike. We gonna figure it out. Okay.
All right.
Drake's smart too.
Yeah, no, I mean, must be.
Shit. Damn, I'm gonna do him like that. Keke Palmer. I'm probably rocking with Keke.
Why Keke?
Actually, you know what? Not Keke.
Oh, she got eliminated because I asked why.
Yeah, you shouldn't have asked.
That's an important question.
That's a doozy right there. Sydney Sweeney.
Why?
No, Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie.
You gotta have a reason why.
Yes, tell us.
Margot Robbie?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Well, did you see Barbie? We all saw Barbie.
Yes.
You saw what she did in there.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Okay, you should have led with Harley Quinn.
That's
There
what
we go.
that is what put her on the radar.
That was the one. You're right. Harley
fucking
Quinn.
shit up. Okay.
Yeah, and so we don't know what we might get out of it.
All right.
And I feel like, she knows how to play a game. Because it's about playing
Probably,
a game. Being
yeah,
a little,
probably.
being a little flirty, being a little sensual, mind games.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going.
That's Harley Quinn.
That's Harley Quinn. That's Margot. You listen to her. I ain't getting another chick now. We're going to go all 3 dudes. That's all we need is Margot and we'll be okay. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Craven.
You know what that is? Yep, Craven.
Okay.
Kick ass. I'm going with him, baby. Okay.
Oh, kick ass.
He looked like he can get the job done.
No, he.
I feel very confident with him and Mike. Drake will figure it out. I just know he'll help me. Drake might
think you have
actually
too many liabilities.
He might be he might be our general. Drake might know how to move our people. What's up, Candace?
Oh,
Drake,
no.
if Drake is leading you,
We're not worried about it.
Drake has held us down for over a decade.
No, he has.
He has destroyed competitions for over a decade, right?
I mean,
That's the greatest.
that is.
Is that not a fact?
It is.
Is that not a fact?
he just
No.
Well,
we're
he
not
did,
counting.
yeah, he did.
literally got
Candace,
destroyed.
is
I was about to say he
Whole
did
game.
just get destroyed.
in his
We
own
not-
game. How is he gonna play this game?
We're not counting that.
Okay, all right, okay.
We're counting how he's been
Everything
holding
else.
down and killing everyone for over a decade. I think he can come onto a show and
But I mean, who were his opponents before before this one?
we don't even remember them. They've been destroyed. He got them out of here, except for one person who we don't need to name. But that's my list right there. Before we get, you know what we did last? I don't know how we skipped this guy.
yeah.
I apologize. Your favorite? This is movies.
We didn't even talk about.
We didn't even talk about movies. We were so enamored by the story.
That's another show.
What's your favorite? We make quick. What's your favorite genre?
Oh, I love the like action psychological thriller. Basically anything Christopher Nolan makes.
Okay.
Anything Christopher
So
Nolan makes.
Inception is one of your favorite.
All
Batman
all of
series,
them, yeah.
clearly.
Yep.
Interstellar.
Tenet, Interstellar.
Okay.
Prestige.
Prestige. Nice.
Oh man, Oppenheimer. I'm very excited for this. Yeah, I'm very excited for this Odyssey. They just said he's gonna do an Odyssey, and I was like, he's gonna kill it.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm big.
Is
Christopher Nolan
that
fan.
something that after you finish your challenge run? Because I know it's a run. That's
Yeah, no, for sure.
Or even now, do you want to get into acting? Is that something
So-
you thought about?
I feel like I thought about it and dismissed it in the sense of like if somebody was randomly like, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this movie?" I'm like, "Of course, I love movies. That sounds fun." But I dismiss it in the sense like I don't actively pursue it because I know a decent amount of like actor friends, like nobody like super huge, but like people who are working and they have such a passion and drive for it that I'm like, I don't think I could I don't even think I could. I don't respect it, and I don't have enough interest in it to respect it to want to do all the
train
classes
that
and
hard
everything.
for it,
Yeah.
train
Like if I said, if I fell into, if somebody was like, "Hey, can you do this?" and it turned out that I could, then by all means, I'm down. But it is,
Nothing you're gonna.
yeah, it's nothing I'm pursuing
Absolutely.
actively. Yeah, I think it. Yeah,
Man,
I feel like it's such a craft.
Bro, you got anything else on your mind?
No, that's it. That was
God,
good.
thank you so much for your time, G. Please let everybody know what's next for you, where they can find you.
Oh man. Well, I'm on all the socials. It's Kyland Young. Kyland.Young on TikTok for some reason still. And we got mostly Instagram. I'm getting back into the live streaming on TikTok, like I said. And I love to when I'm there, I answer as many questions as I can because I'm usually there for hours. So I feel like if you have questions and you're not getting a response anywhere else, show up TikTok live. I'll probably answer it.
Nice.
And then so we have a YouTube where we have a podcast. I'm working on with a good friend and producer. Connections with Kyland. Love to have you guys sometime. It's just more talking about the different connections in our life.
Yeah.
So I did a first season, just kind of phones and just very not like a full production stuff, but had a lot of fun. Second season I shot, but then literally that was right before the Challenge 39. That was a huge, a long time and a huge shift in kind of my life, and I was on the road, and that rolled right into 40. So all of it got archived, and I was worried it was never gonna get out. And then my manager got this new studio, and we had some new guests and stuff interested. So now we're gonna start shooting new episodes, and to the launch of those episodes is pulling these other videos from the archive. So I'm really excited. We're getting those out next month, and which is in like a week now.
Yeah.
And but it's already been shot, so it's just now like getting it all rolling it out with the new stuff. And so stay tuned on that, and then stay tuned on keep your TVs tuned in, and we'll see what happens.
Tuned in, y'all. Well, thank y'all so much, my guy B Moore. You got anything you want to add?
Go watch Suckers.
Go watch Suckers, our movie.
I am B Moore on everything. Go watch our movie Suckers on Prime. And
go watch Suckers.
Yeah.
Go subscribe to Colorblind TV.
So yes, please subscribe to Colorblind TV. If you have any other questions for Kai, slide in his DMs. He will answer. Maybe, I don't know.
Or TikTok.
You know
or like TikTok Live is easiest.
You know what I mean? Drop them in here in our comments. Let us know. We'll relay the message. I'll do it. Okay. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Bye. Sure, that was great.